I'd be really disappointed if I was the Dutch going in front like they have done and then obviously letting the Japanese come back in. Credit to the Japanese, but I thought, Ange summed them up perfectly before the game where he said they lacked belief, and they really did lack belief until they went a goal down and then they came back and showed a little bit, but they'll be so disappointed, Holland.
Let's have a look at the goals then and how they panned out. Virgil van Dijk, Roy, with the first one there, and Gravenberch with the assist.
Yeah, brilliant, obviously brilliant delivery. We know how good he had at set pieces. Van Dijk, he's obviously on a good run of form in terms of scoring goal. He's had a tough season. But some of the delivery tonight from set pieces wasn't great, but when it comes out back to Gravenberch, and we've seen Japan dropping deeper and deeper, of course, but once it goes in, and Van Dijk, we see it from different angles, an absolutely fantastic header. He is such a goal threat, brilliant finish, and we'll see it from different angles. And going off the post, brilliant, the way he guided him. Obviously there's enough pace in it, but fantastic. Fantastic header again, poor defending, they're dropping deeper, but look from this angle, beautiful. You've seen it all the way. Lovely, lovely, lovely finish. And they were in total control at this stage, but they took their foot off the gas. Brilliant goal.
Well, that's it. The equaliser, in a way, in the second half, sort of came out of nowhere for Japan because they didn't seem to have woken up at that point.
Yeah, look, it's my frustration that, every time they went a goal down, all of a sudden you saw the capabilities they had, a lot more positive on the ball. And, they all of a sudden started asking the Netherlands questions, and for me it's do that from the beginning. But you can see here they're running that half space really well the whole game, and then it comes out to Nakamura. Dutch defence comes out, but Van der Ven stays in, and so when he strikes the ball, and he's in an offside position, but you can just see Van der Ven here on the left-hand side as the ball comes out. The rest of the back four move out. He stays in, keeps him onside through the defender's legs, and they get back into the game, and it's just, like I said, the frustration for me is that they are capable of much more than what they showed today, and they can be a lot more braver than what they put out.
Yeah. Crescencio Somerville, his stock has suddenly risen, hasn't it? Because when you look at it, his debut was on the 3rd June, and that was only 10 days ago, and now he's playing in the World Cup and scoring, and it was, at the time, 2-1, a really important goal.
It was, and to be fair, there weren't many times that the Dutch got in between the lines because obviously Japan with that 5-4-1, they were really compact, quite organised, difficult to break down and quite deep. But Gravenberch gets into a really good space here, and does a lot. Quickens up the attack, real quality. They just drop off that little bit, but he's got good runners around him, Somerville. The runner on the outside, and then Marlon just pulls away, and all of a sudden you just get that little bit of space as he just dips inside. I think the goalkeeper might just be a little late to go. Maybe he's a little unsighted, but he just sets it out beautifully with his left foot outside the post and brings it back in. It's a great goal.
Yeah, they had the numbers back though. The frustrating thing for Japan, they had the numbers back. Yeah, it's a good move from Holland, but you've just got decision making, just lads sleeping at the wrong time. Because when somebody cuts in like that as an ex-midfielder, when somebody cuts in like that, you kind of want that sometimes. You have the bodies there, but people just not going that extra yard. And these are big moments, small details, but big moments.
And then a second fight back from Japan to get the equaliser. Dijk Kamada, 88th minute from a corner.
Okay, now my rant about the Dutch. So, they're 2-1 up, they're comfortable, and they decide to put on a third centre-back. And you're just inviting pressure. And ironically, it's from a set piece, when we've got the extra big player on there. They've got Ake on there, they've got about 4 or 5 big bodies. Van Dijk's obviously the free man. They expect him to win the ball, he doesn't. And Japan, from probably the only decent delivery they had the whole game. But why bring on the extra centre-back of this propensity to try and hold on to what you've got? I didn't think it was needed on the day, and it allowed Japan to gain some momentum. Mito came on as a sub, put some pressure on them, and they paid a price.
Yeah. These were the fans as well, so the reaction from the Japanese, they're such good value all game, especially this guy who actually we stayed on for about 10 minutes, and that celebration just continued on a loop. Look, they had a great time. Ultimately, for Japan, this must be a great result for them to get through this game.
Fantastic from Japan's point of view. Anne just mentioned there, obviously maybe lacked in belief, but towards the end it was the Dutch. When they got themselves in that winning position, and then start making defensive changes, and then of course on the set pieces. So Japan will be delighted with that. But look, all credit to them. As much as I felt Holland were always seemed to be in control of the game, but you stay in the game, you keep the fight. There was always just one goal in it, so we took our hats off to Japan. But it'll be the Dutch who'll be frustrated. Japan will be delighted with that draw.
On that set piece, sometimes, and I've been in defences where you've got a dominant centre-back or you've got a dominant goalkeeper, and when they go for it, everyone else stops just imagining, thinking they're going to deal with it. Van Dijk goes for it, and once he misses it, Van Hecker should be a lot closer to him. And
the keeper should do better.
It's a big mistake. Or the keeper should save it.
When the keeper gets a hand to it like that, the keeper's got to do better.
Do you agree with what Andrew was saying there about the Dutch's tactical change?
Yeah. I think when you're 2-1 up and you're obviously a very, very good team, it's not as if they're under huge pressure. So you're worried there's sometimes your coach is trying to be too clever. But when you're 2-1 up, they had opportunities to go and finish the game off. And as we know, we've watched enough football over the years. When there's one goal in it, at this level, you're always in with a chance. As much as the Dutch were in control, so not to finish the job off, they'll be kicking themselves.
Have a look at this as well. This is from the Japanese bench, and perhaps a little bit of timekeeping here. How clever are they here? Ange, have a look at what they're doing.
Ball will go short away.
Yeah, I guess their timekeeping is good, fantastic. I just wish they had something up there that says, you know what, just be a bit more brave and play a bit more to their capabilities. I get, Roy is right that they should be really happy with the 2-2, but I know the capabilities they have. They can win these games by playing with a little bit more courage.
Gary, ever, when you were in the coaching teams or management, do you ever have the urge to write down exactly what minute, just to guide the players exactly where they are in the game? To see it out?
No, that wasn't a tactic that I deployed.
I'm sure there's a scoreboard, isn't there, or something else I can...
When I saw a 6 goal, that was the goals we conceded.
Exactly. Look, they'll move on as well. Look, the next game, Netherlands play Sweden on Saturday, and Japan played Tunisia on Sunday too. So who's in a better position?
No, I probably was more impressed with the Dutch tonight in terms of their performance. Yeah, they've given a couple of daft goals, certainly the set piece at the end. So I'd almost be, in the bigger picture, you're thinking the Dutch look decent. But again, you can't underestimate Japan. I also give them credit for hanging in there. But I think they'll both move on, and towards the end, we'll take the draw and move on. And tough games to come, but you have to take that. You have to be contented. I still think towards the end of the game, you're thinking, well, make sure you don't lose it. But I go back to it. The Dutch were in control, and I still think they'll be more of a threat in the latter stages than maybe Japan.